Right, here we are then, time for another week in life vlog. Let's hope it's a good week this week. I'm not expecting a good week this week, but I'm obviously hoping for a good week. Last week, won't go into detail, but it was pretty poor, same as last time I did a vlog. So this is week commencing 23rd of May 2022, of course. So fuel prices, my Shell card that I get for UK fuels is the cheapest still. It's had a run of being the cheapest the last like several weeks now. It isn't normally the cheapest, but it has been for quite a while now. So that is 142.44, which is the cheapest. My other card, which is the BWOC or BOC card, which is their own card, Control 4 Diesel, uses a Key Fuels network. That's 142.95, so there's only about half a pence in it, where it has been like around the 2 pence mark. So they are closer this week, but I'm going to obviously be using the Shell card because it's cheaper and it's easy to use because I don't have to look out for stations on a certain network. It's just like any Shell, any Texaco, any Gulf, any Esso. So it's just a case of what brand the fuel is, and so that makes it easier to use. With the VAT, it works out at 170.93, so it has come down a touch since, well, we're back where we were now at the beginning of May, pretty much. It did go up to like 175 pretty much at one point in May. So fuel price still really high. It seems to just, I think I can't see it coming down. Obviously I'm no expert on these things, but they're trying to cut out fuel from Russia, aren't they? So that's basically cut out a huge chunk of supply to the Western world, as they call us, the democratic companies that are going against Russia. So that's obviously put a massive like supply to demand shortage. So yeah, I just can't see it coming down too much. I think prices are going to remain high for fuel this year. Yeah, so that's fuel. Monday, day off. Last weekend I had a good weekend. I was with the kids and some family and friends, just on a sort of long weekend holiday. So I wasn't on holiday Monday, but got back Sunday, was knackered, had things to do because I've been away all weekend. So I didn't work yesterday. Could have done, maybe should have done, but I had other stuff to do, not very motivated. When it's quiet and it's a struggle, you obviously need to put more hours in, but when you're spending hours and hours just in between jobs, it's really hard to get motivated. Gone in before, you know, quite financially secure, got savings, so at the moment I'm pretty much eating into my savings, so I'm not earning enough so far this year. If I didn't have any savings, I'd be proper stressing and probably working all the hours just to try and scrape a living. But yeah, so that gets us to Tuesday. So I didn't start until 10 this morning, usual when I'm actually starting first day on the run. So I'm doing 10 o'clock latest. Started looking, didn't go for a run, as I sometimes do, mostly do. I was just a bit late. As soon as I started looking, I kind of cocked up because I had my home location set to like Yorkshire from last Thursday, my last day on the run last week, and I hadn't changed it back to a home location, Walsall. So on the phone, when I checked into the app, I was getting notifications for Yorkshire as well as down here, but it wasn't showing jobs that I pinged up before I actually logged into the app. So I had to go and change the settings, of course, on the desktop version. Can't do it on the app. My home location for notifications, and then jump on the desktop. I was obviously at home anyway, so I was on the laptop, change that, and then I could just look loads that had come up within a 35 mile radius on the laptop. And I saw on there was a job I've done several times, which is the job from sort of north of Walsall, Burntwood, some place that does iron castings, going to Peterlee. You might recognise this job. Done it today, 4th or 5th time I've done it. €3 pallet sort of cases, just over a ton, 1,011 kilograms. It's always exactly the same. Nowhere I'm going, nowhere to the offices to go in and get loaded, nowhere to go to get tipped, and they're always really quick to tip you. Pretty sound guys, real typical northeasterners. If there's such a thing, you know, well, renowned for being friendly up here, and they generally are, especially at this place. Yeah, so I got that loaded. He said it's ready for 11, which was fine by me because it basically just gave me enough time to go via the garage and get my meal deal for the day. Went up there, got loaded, and got tipped up here maybe 20 to 3. And I thought there's a chance I can get another job. First time I came up here, I got a job down to Stoke, and that was like a £300 day. So I thought, you know, I've got 2.5 hours hopefully to get a job. If I get a job heading south, you know, it could be on for a reasonable day. Quite a few jobs did ping up. Some I thought I would quite competitive for, because not far from them, and like medium wheelbase jobs and stuff, but didn't get them. There was some I went in for more speculative, you know, like small van jobs, so it was quite expensive for them, but didn't get them either. So just a one dart job today. Looks like it's going to be £165. Sat in this retail park in Peterlee, you know Peterlee, where Lidl is, and Home Bargains. So this is like the third time, I think, maybe the fourth I'm going to tramp here. No overnight restrictions or limited time parking. So that's, yeah, I mean, £165 worked out about 90 pence a mile, all miles. Not a total disaster, but still not a great day. Yeah, so that's the start of the week. There's nothing more to add really. Right, Wednesday night now. Actually, a decent day today, especially considering how it's been going lately. So 2 jobs today. Woke up in Peterlee, started looking for jobs like 8:30, not 8:30, or 7:30, 7:45 maybe. Got a job at 20 to 10. There was a few jobs pinging up, probably not as busy as last time I was up there a few weeks ago, but yeah, just happy to get this job. Quite interesting. It was a medium wheelbase job, 123 miles loaded. I quoted at £118. I didn't think that was very competitive because it's close to £1 a mile for a medium wheelbase and it's over 100 miles, so I thought a bit of a speculative one, that one, but I did get it. Fair play to the shipper when he rang me up. Normally when a shipper rings you up, they're mad busy. It's a very short conversation, all really concise, you know. Can you do the job? Yes, I can. They might try and knock you on price, but mostly not the case. Then they'll, you know, just send it over. This guy was quite chatty and says, "Oh yeah, I still do a lot of driving myself, but I'm in the office today." Blah blah blah. And he's obviously got the impression he'd started as an owner driver, and then he's picked up a few customers, and then he's, you know, actually using the CX to cover jobs with other drivers. So fair play to him. And there's 1 or 2 vans. The other guy going in was somebody who uses regular local, and he asked me, something I don't think I've ever had before. Goes, you curious about what other people bid? And I was like, yeah, okay. What did they bid? He says he had 2 bids of £100, 1 bid of 105, myself at 118, and 1 other at 120. So I was close to being the most expensive, but not the most expensive, but definitely not the cheapest. So that means there's only 5 people bidding. I thought there'd be more, even though it's a North East. There are not so many vans up there, but there's less jobs. But it was interesting, it was only 5. He didn't ring me straight away. It was probably like 10-15 minutes later. And he said the ones that are cheaper than me didn't have very good feedback, so you'd rather pay a bit more and get it sorted, sort of thing, and not have to worry for the sake of 18 quid or whatever. And that's where it pays off, I think, to have obviously good feedback and just do a good job, don't co-load and all that stuff. So anyway, yeah, fair play to the guy. Got the job, went and picked it up. 2 pallets of like printed plastic materials going to some major paint manufacturer in the northwest, based in the northwest. Darwen by Blackburn, and it was like display stuff for, you know, when you go to B&Q or whatever to get paint, they have like this display material on the walls about different paint finishes and stuff. So yeah, that was that. So 2 parts for me, 2 parts for the other guy. Drove over, dropped it, got there about the same time, pretty much exactly the same time. So tipped there just before 1, like 1:45, 20:1. Then I had a 2-hour wait, bidding on jobs. The feeds there, but definitely not busy, but not completely dead either, as it has been, well, like it was when I was sort of like Yorkshire last week in the afternoon. I didn't vlog then, did I? Eventually I got a job I've done before, or at least a collection I've done a few times before, picking up out of Preston with a big national shipper, and it's delivering to piri fast food restaurants, which are everywhere. I've done it a few times to sort of West Midlands, getting me home. I've done it once to Nottingham, I think. I did bid on one with 3 drops in the West Mids, and the last one was in Walsall, which I really wanted to get. And, there's a lot of handball in this job. It's quite time consuming because you've got to handball it into the van off the pallets, and then you've got to deliver it to fast food restaurants, which tend to be sort of in shopping areas, shopping streets, so it can be a bit awkward to park. You normally double yellows, using your sack truck. Sometimes the restaurants will give you a hand, but a lot of them just won't. They just leave you to it. They're busy doing their job. Cooking, it's kind of included, I think, in the price. So I quoted 150 for 100 miles, 3 drops to the West Mids, which I would have got before. I've done plenty of jobs at that money from there. Didn't get that one. One later pinged up. It's actually a short wheelbase job. 44 miles loaded. I was 46 miles loaded. I was 8 miles from it, so 54 miles in total. Quoted 98 quid. Got it. Short wheelbase job. Only about 500 kilograms worth of stuff. It's quite often long wheelbase jobs in like around a ton mark. So I went and picked it up. 3 drops, like I say, 1 in Preston itself, then Blackburn, and then Keighley or Keighley, which is where I am now. And it says in this, you've got the option to take it on the pallets, but if you take it on the pallets, you have to get rid of the pallets, or you can handball it in a van. So I turned up and I was the last one of the day, the last 2 pallets outside. I says, yeah, I'm not taking the parts, mate, handball it on, which I think they would much prefer they just load me with a forklift and then they're out of there, because I think they were kind of, once I'd been loaded, they were gone. But she says, oh, you sure you don't want the parts? And I says, well, no, because I'll just end up stuck with them and I don't know anywhere to get rid of them, don't know where I'm going to end up. So no, just have to be firm, you know. And that was an option, is what had been agreed with the shipper. So then we got loaded, did the job, pretty straightforward drops, bit of the usual parking in busy areas, double yellows and stuff, but not too bad really. So it was 118 for the first job, 98 for this one, which I think is 216. But that second job, even though the first job actually came in slightly below 85 pence a mile, all miles, it got me going. And then the second job was kind of close to £2 a mile. So I've not worked it out for today, but pretty decent pence per mile today. And got over 200 quid. So as it is at the moment, that's a good day. So I'm pretty content with today, which is good, because I've not had a day I've been content with since the 2 Easter weeks. And I've been a bit of a part-timer. So yeah, that's today. So I'm in Keighley now. It's spelled Keighley, but I think it's pronounced Keighley. It's not far from Bradford. Hopefully have a decent day tomorrow, and then just get home on the Friday. Right, Thursday night now, about 9 o'clock. Yeah, actually a really good day today. A very good day, maybe even an excellent day, considering how it's been lately. So 2 jobs. Got my first job about 8:30. It was pick up sort of 9:15. It was sort of like, it wasn't ASAP. It was 9:15. Plenty of time to get there. Might have been slightly earlier than 8:30 actually. I got it. Had a bit of a chill that morning. Got a coffee and stuff. And then when I picked it up, it was one of these jobs where it was a long wheelbase job. 82 miles. I quoted 95 quid for it. I was 6 miles from it. So it was 88 miles all in, so it's slightly over £1 a mile on the job, all miles. But it was like a long wheelbase job, and it's one of these ones where I don't always ask what it is. You should do, really, I think. But when it's like a bit in the future, so you're going to be sitting around, what you don't want to do is like sit around, especially if it's a few hours, and then go to the collection and then find out it's not going to fit, or they booked the wrong size van, and then you just get a standard cancellation and you've like killed 2 hours or whatever. Wasn't that long a wait on this job, but I thought I'll ask anyway, so I asked. And it's one of these ones where the shipper goes, I don't know, they just asked for a long wheelbase van, which for me is, I just can't understand how you can do that, really, because obviously you need to make sure it's going to fit, because customers often get stuff wrong, underestimate what they need. So it could be too long, too wide, too tall, or whatever. And then there's weight. Customers often don't understand how much weight a van can take. So massively overestimate. And then the third thing is things like ADR. So, I can't understand how a shipper can take a booking without asking what the goods are. I just don't get it at all. It's kind of a bit Mickey Mouse, really. Just saying, oh yeah, such van size, and send it in, But anyway, just had to turn up. As it turned out, it was just one sort of promotional stand, something to do with Starbucks coffee, from some printers. When I saw printers, I thought this could be pallets of printed paper, leaflets and stuff, boxed, and they can be really heavy, but it wasn't. It was like a really quick load, nothing to it. I took it to a supermarket, RDC, D-side, CH5 by Chester. Really quick tip there as well, like straight in, straight out. And then parked up outside there. There's a few jobs picking up. I got a job really quick, which is what made a good day today. And it was a long job. It was a small van job. I was really shocked to get this. 209 miles loaded from Runcorn down to Brentwood, which is just off the M25, into Essex. If you think of the M25 as a clock, it's like 2, 3 o'clock. Well, yeah, about 2 o'clock on the clock. So you think the M25 is a clock. Just off the M25. I wasn't that close to it distance-wise, but it was down the M56, so I was like 25 minutes from it. It was one of these jobs. It wasn't the normal pickup within the hour. It was like pick up by a certain time, and that time was about 45 minutes away. So it's fairly urgent. You could see that, but still surprised to get the call. 198 quid for 209 miles, small van job from Runcorn, which isn't out the way at all, to Brentwood. Yeah, quite chuffed to get that one. So you can still get these jobs. Went and picked it up, and it was 4 sort of like cartons, or packs, multi-packs of bottles of like dietary drinks, I'd say. One had something to do with vitamin D, and the other one was something to do with fibre. I took it and delivered it to a private address to some old lady on a Zimmer frame, and she'd had the delivery already today. I don't know, I'm presuming that didn't come from Runcorn. And she did say to me, are you the guy who's come from quite far away? And I says, yeah, long way. So maybe she just run out of stuff she needs. She's on medication. It's part of her healthcare, whatever. She's obviously got certain needs. She's a nice lady. Maybe she's rung up and said, I'm run out, and they've just sent stuff they can from anywhere. I did hear there's a shortage of this kind of stuff, and particularly drugs and stuff. And this wasn't drugs. This was just like, you know, bottled drinks, like dietary stuff. But it did make me think, you know, is this an NHS job? Is this, you know, part of her? Obviously good to get the job. I'm sure the shipper's glad to get these kind of jobs, but if, you know, if it's the taxpayer paying the bill, they paid me all that money, the shipper's got their cut on top. You do get these jobs every now and then, you think, you know, sort of private job, public jobs, and you just think how much money's been wasted, you know. Taxpayers' money. But that was that one. Got down here, wasn't the best journeys, quite a bit of traffic on the M6, M25, congestion, so I didn't get tipped till like 5:30. Bid on a few jobs for this evening and the morning, didn't get a lot of them, but then I've managed to get a job for tomorrow, picking up in Chelmsford, which I've driven to now today. So if you know Chelmsford, I'm going to tramp in Lidl car park tonight. It's also Farm Foods car park. There's a pub next to it. No restrictions. I'm picking up, I wasn't sure whether to bid on this or not. It's Chelmsford to Kettering, which is like East Midlands, so it's getting me home on a Friday, towards home. It is, how many miles is it? 90 miles, and I was like 14 miles from it or something. I went in at £105, which is obviously just over £1 a mile. All miles, over £1 a mile, loaded miles. But it's not picking up till 10:30, so there's a bit of dead time there. But then if you get it, it's, you know, I could sit around until then or later and not get a job going north, or not get a job all day and drive home empty. So I thought I'd go for it, slightly high, got it. And then when I sent it through, I saw it didn't just have a pickup at 10:30, it's actually got a timed slot delivery, which is to an RDC. So, and that's 2:30, so it's only like an hour and 3/4 drive according to the CX app. And it's a 4-hour window between collection and drop times. So I think that's my cock up. I think I just didn't see it. I just assumed it was ASAP. There's a chance that it did say ASAP and the shipper's changed it, but done work for these before, a good shipper. I can't see it, so I think it's just my cock up. So option M was, do I ring them up and say, oh sorry, that's just too long a window, my mistake, which is kind of messing them around a bit. So I'm just going to have to stick with it, and it is getting me back to the Midlands, albeit East Midlands, on the Friday. Decent all miles rate, and hopefully I'll be able to tip it a bit sooner. I might get to the collection, you know, 10 o'clock, try and get out of there for 10:30, get up there 12:30, so like 2 hours early, and then just chance it, because I'm only in a van, you know. I might just, if they say, oh you're early, you have to come back, I'll just come back, but I'll give it a try. So that is the Thursday. So yeah, decent day today, decent couple of days, okay start to the week. So, I started at 10, and the job booked in for tomorrow. Try and get another one after that to round off the week, try and not get home too late. But anyway, that's a really good Thursday, so another day I'm pretty happy with. Right, Friday afternoon now, about 20 to 4, last on the run update. Just parked up outside the house, or just around the corner. So yeah, that job was alright actually. It was 10:30 pickup, got there 10:15, pretty sound guy, got loaded. It was 3 pallets, 2 of which were like really long, but thankfully they were stackable. So stacked them on top of each other, and then one standard UK pallet with just a single tote box on it. So I think the distribution centre it was going to, presume, I've heard of this before, they won't accept like anything that isn't on a pallet. I'm presuming that's why, because it's just one tote box on a pallet, you know, with the wrap around it to keep it tied to the pallet, plastic wrap. So yeah, loaded, got up there about 12:30. Obviously booking time wasn't until 2:30, so at the gatehouse, there was nobody in the gatehouse. It was one of these telecom things. Pressed it, no one answered, but the gate opened, so drove in, parked up by the ramp, because obviously there's loads of bays for trucks to go on, but there's a ramp with 2 doors, so I parked by there. Which was right next to the goods office. Went in, showed them the paperwork. Yeah, I was parked in the right place. They tipped me within 10 minutes. Another 5 minutes just for them to check the stuff over and then give me my paperwork, and that was that. So no messing around really. So I was out of there by 1 o'clock, just before 1. So that went really well, really. So I don't know, I thought, thinking, right, great, it's not 2:30, it's, quite a bit earlier. Just need a job now to try and get me home, just to boost up my earnings for the day and get me closer to home, because I was still 62 miles from home. I was a bit surprised Kettering quite that far from Walsall. I noticed on the way up, when I tried to change my home location for notifications from like the Essex area, I think it was still set to Brentwood, to Kettering, it struggled, and it took me ages to sort of get it to work and save. This is on the desktop through Google Chrome on my phone, so not on the CX app, can't do it on there. And then when I got up there, it took me ages. Well, it didn't take me ages. I uploaded a pod, but then it said it will upload to the system once I get internet connection. But I had internet connection, I had 4G plus, and then eventually got that to go up. And then it wouldn't let me create the invoice from the app. To give me some error code. And then I got off site, went to the local garage services sort of in that area, and soon realised the app wasn't working properly. So I was getting notifications, and I click on a job and I could see some jobs but not everyone. And then when I went to the list of loads, like the loads tab on the app, it just kept saying failure, no connection. So I went in to launch the YouTube app on my phone, picked a random video I've not watched before. I could watch it in high definition, so perfectly good reception and internet connection, but it was just an app problem. So jumped onto Facebook, onto a few groups on Facebook, which is to do with the CX and owner driver couriers and stuff. And yeah, there's a few posts on there, people saying, is the CX not working for anyone else? So basically, the CX had a cock up this today and a bit of a breakdown, the CX system. So then I tried to log into, I thought, okay, the app isn't working on my phone, maybe I can look for jobs and bid for jobs on the desktop version through Google Chrome on my phone. So I went and tried that, and I got this message on the CX website. Yeah, so even the website was down, so it says it was down for maintenance. We're obviously not going to plan to do maintenance and go down like Friday afternoon, probably one of the busiest times of the week, if not the busiest. So yeah, they've obviously had an issue. I've known of them have issues before where it goes slow or certain things won't work, like you won't be able to invoice from the app, but that's not major deal. But I've never known it to totally go down like that. And then after about half an hour, I started to get jobs coming through, but it was like sporadic. So I decided about 2 o'clock, I'm just going to drive home slowly, maybe pull over at Rugby services, see if I can get a job from there if it's sorted itself out. But I just carried on and came home empty. Jobs pinging up, but I noticed it was only for all the notifications coming through were clearly just to do with my home location set in Kettering. So it was like 30-mile radius for Kettering. So once I got past Rugby on the M6, I wasn't getting notifications for like Birmingham and stuff, like my current location through GPS. So I was only kind of getting notifications for my home location for notifications and not my location GPS, so it's only kind of half working. So yeah, I just drove home So it's a bit of a pain, really. It's like, say, technology based CX and stuff. And as I say, technology is fantastic when it works. These things can break down just like a vehicle can break down. Bad time for it to happen, but I'm reliant on the CX for my work. So did mean I didn't earn anything else today, so it's just £105. So I was on about that job, getting there miles plus on the job miles, about £1 a mile, all miles. But then I've driven 62 miles home empty. So I was hoping to get a job from Kettering, sort of East Midlands area, over towards Birmingham, West Mids sort of way. That would have been ideal, or even just like a local min charge job, which would have sort of paid for top me up to like 150ish, and then for the day, and then sort of get home, pay for some of my miles to get home. But that didn't happen because of the CX breakdown. I might not have got a job anyway, but decent chance I think from there. But that was the end of my week then on the run, so yeah, slightly disappointing, but not a lot you can do about it really, is it? So yeah, that's on the run done. Right, the summary bit behind here. It's actually Monday now, the following work week, which is a non-vlog week. It's quite a busy weekend, and I didn't get around to doing it. So I'll get this filmed. It might not be until next weekend now I actually get this uploaded, depending on when I get back. Or Wednesday's the last working day of the week, so maybe I'll get it uploaded. So Wednesday, Thursday latest, hopefully. So in terms of earnings last week, obviously I took the Monday off. Tuesday, one job, 165, but like I said, I didn't start looking till 10ish. Wednesday, two jobs, 118 and 98 for £216. Thursday, best day of the week, and one of the best days I've had for a good few weeks. 95 and 198 comes to 293 for the day. And then Friday was a £105 job, which I did manage to get off a lot sooner than the booking time for the drop. But then I had the CX issues, so that was it for the day really. That scuppered my earnings that day. So total comes to £779, which is £195 a day if I take it all as full 4 days. But like I say, started late on the Tuesday-ish, late morning, and then Friday couldn't work in the afternoon because of the CX issue. But I still count it as a full 4 day week. It comes at 195 a day. Takings, of course, not earnings. Did 855 miles. So my all miles, pence per mile, loaded and unloaded from leaving the house to getting back, 91.11 pence a mile. No additional charges this week. So my earnings, my profit if you like, after I've worked it all out for the week, is 460 quid, which divided by 4 days is £115 a day, which isn't shocking compared to some of the weeks I've had of late where I'm really struggling to get anywhere near 100. That's okay. I reckon without the CX issue on the last day of the week, the Friday, you can't say for sure of course, but I'd be pretty confident of getting something. I probably would have got that up to more like 125 a day, which the way it's been lately I'd have been pretty content with. Not like over the moon, but you know, not annoyed either, or not disappointed either. So yeah, that was a week. First time I've really had a CX issue like that. I've known it to be slow before, or certain parts not work, so you can still work but you can't raise the invoice, or a bit glitchy. I've never known it to go down like that. I mean, nothing's 100% reliable, whether it's something mechanical like your van, or whether it's, you know, software based, or who knows, maybe they had a server go down and that's, you know, like actual physical stuff, isn't it? You know, maybe it overheated, or I don't know, IT whiz or whatever, but there is a hardware aspect to it as well. I've been thinking about this. It's kind of to be expected every now and then, as long as it's like a rare event. I mean, like if you think about it, you know, major banks not quite often, but every now and then you'll hear about, you know, one of their systems has gone down. and people can't use internet banking, and it causes, personal customers and business customers loads of issues. And that's, a similar kind of thing, isn't it? It's all computer based stuff. And then you hear about, technology things, booking in systems going down in airports, causing chaos at Heathrow and all sorts. So yeah, it's one of them things. As long as it doesn't happen regular, I think you just kind of got to go with it. Obviously it's disappointing, and they need to do everything they can for it not to happen, but stuff like this does make you realise just how dependent you are, or I am, on a CX, and I know lots of other people are. And it's something I've thought of before. What happens if the CX just disappeared overnight? Everyone assumes they're making fortunes, but maybe they're not. Who really knows? Well, everyone says they charge a lot, so they assume they must be making money, but who really knows what's involved in the outgoings of such a business? I haven't got a Scooby-Doo about that. So, it does make you think. You had all your eggs in one basket on a CX. Something happens overnight and they go bust or pull the plug or whatever. I don't know. You just don't know, do you? Yeah, did get me thinking about that. I'll bring it. Thought about it before, but brought it back to my front of my mind. So that was the week. I'll end it there. As ever, any comments, please put them below. And any tips either for me or anyone else who watches the videos. That's how this works. Or anything that crops up during the week, you put comments below, and anyone who's thinking of getting into business or is already in the business can also see them, and we can all sort of learn together, isn't it? That's how it works. And as ever, cheers for watching.